Hello and welcome to Cludd's one-on-one session. I am Tori, the Dungeon Mom, and I'm going to have Cludd introduce themselves as a person and also the character that they will be playing. Race, class, pronouns, and also a brief, short summary about who Cludd is and what they're all about. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Sol. I am the person who plays Cludd. Cludd is a Warforged Artificer, and they go by any pronouns. So far, what we know about Cludd is that they were created, or should I say constructed, years and years ago, at least over 1,000. And recently, they have been dug up, just a few years ago, give or take. This was done by one Professor Eyja and her team of researchers at the University of Andorra. It was taken to the Midsummer Festival after the professor and her team thought that they had found a way to power Cludd up. It went slightly wrong. However, the wonderful Riki from the party said a gnomish phrase that ended up waking Cludd up. In current times, Cludd has joined the party on a few adventures, going into the Sliver nightclub, and also going to the botanical gardens with them. And that's pretty much where the knowledge of Cludd kind of ends.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to get into this one-on-one session as we are going to be going over Cludd's first awakening. And since we can't necessarily do a recap, because this is the very, very beginning of Cludd, we're just gonna jump right on into it.
Oh yeah.
You look around. Most of the colors that you see are a like neutral brown, bronze, wood kind of color scheme. You are in an area where the floor, looking down, trying to get your surroundings, is like a checkerboard, black and white color. And in front of you is a gnomish man with red hair, not ginger, like full red hair, and he's got these little kind of like engineer glasses on his forehead, little blush nose, and he's looking into kind of like your faceplate very, very closely. And as you kind of look around, he sits back a little bit, or sorry, stands back a little bit. What you notice is that you're currently sitting down, and that this figure is about 3 feet tall. Go ahead and give me a perception check to if there's anything else that you would notice about your surroundings.
Rolling a perception, which is a 14 plus 1.
All right, for a total of 15. This is Cludd's very first roll in the I guess in-game timeline. Quite nice. You notice a couple different things. You were sitting on this bench, wooden bench, somewhere on the left, by the stairs, like the little stool.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that George is kind of standing above you, or standing just to kind of match a little bit height. There are various sort of machines around the room specifically one that has a sort of dial. And I have various different pictures of this to get, like, give you an idea of the space. On the far side of the room is a sort of steam-like engine. You do see that there's steam raising out of this one as well. And that there is a sort of like lab bench workspace where you see like this large dial with several other kind of like dials marking and measuring different things. They're currently all at different parameters, and there's a couple different projects going on here. But you see that amid all of the noise of the banging and the ringing and the steam whistling in the background, that this figure is fully focused on you and who you are. And as it kind of glares into your face with odd sort of twisted facial expressions, it goes back and writes down some notes on a clipboard. So yeah, you see him kind of just focusing on you and noticing that your faceplate has fully activated and that you are moving around a little bit. You hear,
Hello there, friend. My name is George Whittlebop. You are a Cyberized Legionary Unit, the 13th of your kind. Although I think you will be a bit more special than the others. You have some basic information programmed into you, and we will be performing a series of tests.
A series of tests?
Oh, well, yes, of course.
That makes sense. I hope to aim to please.
Very interesting. Alright, well, first, please tell me your name.
My name is CLU-13.
Excellent.
you see that he goes ahead and like scribbles some information down on the clipboard again.
And what is today's date?
Today's date. According to my logistics, it is the 23rd of Ches.
Oh, correct. Alright. In a series of numbers, what comes next? 2, 4, 6, 8.
N, 12, 14. Oh, 16.
Excellent. For a bit more complicated question, how are a dog and a dragon similar?
There could be quite a few similarities, and some in which I'm unsure, but could it be that they both have around 4 legs?
This is a fact. Correct. Now, please draw a smiley face.
And you see that he presents you with a little blank clipboard with like a blank piece of paper on it.
Cludd will gently take the clipboard with paper, and I'm assuming there's also a pencil. as well? Sorry,
He has not given you one.
Could I have a utensil, please?
Of course. Here you are.
He hands you the pen that he is currently using.
Thank you. It is most appreciated. Cludd will draw a a robotic smile, so like it would be on Cludd's faceplate, so very boxy.
Okay. You see that like as all of this is going on, he is going between faces of like intense thought to like a very pleasant smile. And he's just going back and forth between these two different things, waiting for you to answer, and then very pleasantly surprised by the answer.
Wonderful. Now, next. You have been programmed with some special abilities. I would like to see a demonstration of something. Could you perhaps demonstrate some magical tinkering?
Some magical tinkering?
Ah, yes. Imbue a tiny non-magical object with a property of your choice. Here, you may use this object.
And George presents you with a wooden puzzle box.
Blood kind of turns it around and examines it, just to see its intricacies. And is it old, new?
It appears to be, I mean, not necessarily new. You can see that there is some kind of wear and tear, mixed, like on the sides and scratches of different things. But it seems like it's in fairly, like, decent condition.
Blood will kind of hold it to their faceplate a little bit, and will imbue the little box with a visual effect of a few words.
Okay.
Those words being, "Is this it?" ? Before handing it back to George.
Haha! Humor! Interesting. Well, CLU-13, you have passed my test. It seems like your cognitive functions are rather good. Now, we shall work on the physical. If you don't mind, can you please touch your thumbs to all of your fingers?
And he kind of demonstrates a little bit.
Touch thumbs to all fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Cludd will kind of raise their hands up as they kind of examine themselves for the first time, turning their hands to show their back and the front, kind of like examining them.
And as you're kind of like looking down, you notice, and I mean, typically Cludd present day is wearing clothing, but at the moment, this Cludd version is not. So as you're examining, I guess, the rest of Cludd's body, you kind of just see that a lot of this is gears turning and operating, and all like metal that kind of like covering, I guess, the main torso, legs, arms area. And here and there are some different like wires kind of poking out. Wires of different colors. And you notice that on your right arm, there is a clear sort of tube where you can see the gears turning a little bit better.
Cludd kind of instinctively kind of kicks their feet a little bit in their sitting position as they do it as instructed and touch their thumb to each of their fingers.
Motor skills are going well. And you already answered the next question, if you could wiggle your feet. Well, the next step is to stand up. But please, let me step back just in case the balance function is not going well.
And you see him take like a few like 4 feet steps back. Or he backs up like 4 feet. Or I guess
Oh,
in your
God.
fate, like 1.5 meters.
Can I roll for this? Question 4.
No, well you can't. You know what? You can if you want to. This would be a dexterity check.
Awesome, right. Does Cludd potentially fall over? Who knows? I got
That's a nat
1.
That's a nat
Yeah.
1. All right. As you try to stand up, there is a like a little can of oil that he was using to for different projects and things. You kind of so as Cludd stands up, the feet shift slightly, and the knocking of the Cludd's foot against this oil can is a little bit shocking. You lose your balance slightly, and as you try to balance yourself, Cludd takes a step back, forgetting that there is the little stool there, and falls backwards over the stool onto her back.
Oh goodness, this is what I was worried about. All right, it just needs a good another. Are you all right?
I'm okay. I apologize for failing the test.
Oh no, this is routine. We want to make sure that your physical abilities are just as well as your cognitive ones. One moment, please.
You see that he grabs the oil can that was on the ground and kind of oils up the areas around your ankle to make sure that this area, that, you know, things are moving smoothly, not necessarily as tight. Perhaps this is one area that was missed previously and could have been one of the reasons why Cludd tripped.
As George does that, Cludd kind of almost stretches the ankle and whatnot, like sort of like a human would, or a humanoid would. And just goes, "Thank you."
Ah, well, that should have taken care of that issue. Perhaps roll the ankle and let me know if any needs to be applied again.
I think it's okay, Cludd will say, while kind of just doing the stretches to the ankle. Oh. Just rolling it.
All right. Shall we try again? If you are up to it.
Yes, please.
All right. If you don't mind, I'm going to take another few steps back.
Cludd offers kind of a sort of nod.
You just see him take the oil can and kind of take a few steps back as he does so.
To assist, Cludd would like to grab the banister as they
Okay.
slowly hoist themselves up to stand.
Yep, and this time it's quite easier to do so, and you manage to find your balance a lot better now that there's a little bit more open space, and with the assistance of that banister as well.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. My next test is to place balance on one foot. You may use the banister to assist you.
Now this time I'm going to need another dexterity check.
It's not that I don't get enough from that one in a row. That'd be pretty funny.
Nat 20.
Awesome. Complete parallels. Cludd will use the banister at first to help themselves up as they lift their left foot up and off the floor before then removing its hand from the banister and completely balancing with, I imagine, hardly any movement.
Motor skills working well. All right. Must have been the oil. Perhaps you could balance on the other foot as well?
Blood will nod and try the same again. If I roll another 18 plus 2.
Woohoo! Excellent. Now, spin around.
On one foot,
Oh, on 2 feet is fine.
but will get into a much better standing position. And attempt to spin on, like, the front bits of their foot. Do I need to roll something for that?
No, that's okay. The past
sorry.
2 dexterity checks show that Cludd has definitely gotten their balance now, so things are working rather well. The first couple things were some hiccups, but this just shows that you've gotten your bearings and fully are accustomed. You have adapted to using the leg features of Cludd.
Nice.
Can you touch the ground?
Cludd will kind of bend their knees and kind of poke the floor.
And
little.
can you jump?
Could you provide a demonstration, please?
Well, of course.
And you just see him do like a leap where he has his feet, his knees come with him, looking like a leapfrog jump straight up almost.
Cludd will attempt to basically mimic exactly what George did.
You do. So it went quite well.
Yeah.
Woohoo! There is a lot of fun we will be having. You have exceeded all of my expectations. And great conversation to boot. Perhaps we can look into the critical thinking aspects of this unit. Is that something you would be interested in?
Cludd nods. Yes, I would love to test my intelligence.
All right. This will require me implementing a program into your brain, if that is all right. Rather than putting you into a physical puzzle, we will put you into a mental one. It is a simulation of sorts.
That sounds fun. I
Anything,
believe that's the right word.
anytime you wish to exit the simulation, shout stop, and it will immediately bring you back to the present world.
Okay.
And he motions for you to sit back down onto the stool and goes over to his little machine desk, grabs a small something, and he comes over to the side of your head where your antenna is. And
You will feel some slight pressure right here. And in a moment, you will be brought to a new place. One moment, please.
and you feel kind of like a click on like the side of Cludd's head. And you are looking at the present world, which sort of fades to a dark color, and then you were brought to a stone, like wooden, a stone wall on 3 sides of you, a cobblestone type floor, stone ceiling, and the other wall is a stone archway with a wooden door in the center. This wooden door has sort of square-like pattern with indentations in the squares. And there is a plaque above it, which reads, "A spoken word unseals me. It starts with T. Halfway between the twins, the next character lies."
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And let me know if you need a hint.
Oh, there's lowercase letters and uppercase. A spoken word unseals me. It starts with T. Halfway between twins, the next character lies. So T-I?
Would you like a hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so lost.
Go ahead and make a intelligence check.
I got that 20.
Okay. What you're looking for is the word, a password. And you have to use these letters before you to figure out what the password is. With a nat 20, you figure out the pattern and the meanings of being able to find the letters. Starting with T, you're looking on the door, and you find that there are 2 T's on this door. One on the top right, one on the top left, and one on the bottom right. And it says, halfway between the twins. You look, and you find a halfway point, the letter H.
All right. Okay.
And then the H is a signifier for your next 2 pairs. So you have to look for the halfway point in between the 2 H's, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Okay, so it starts with T. Those are the 2 T's. Midway point is the H. There's another H to the right of it. Okay, I'm going to assume it's never good to assume that the next letter might be R because it's there. Where's R on the other side? Is there R on the other side? There isn't. So is it not R then?
There are 2 R's.
There is. There's one up here. E. I think. I'm gonna run out of colors. Right, okay. Then between E, there's an S. There's a H. Well, no, there's not. Sorry. There is. There's lowercase h. There is this small h. And there's another small h there. And between that, there's O. Okay. So at the moment, I have the word fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the spoken word? Or do I keep going? Or better off, can I try it?
I think you have to keep going until you find no more twins.
Okay. Keep going to find no more twins. Okay, so there is an O there. And the next O is here, which leaves an L in the middle. Sure, I'll switch to olive. And then there's an L on the other side. And between that, there's a D. But there's not another D on the board. Haha. I think. Unless I'm blind.
This is correct.
This is not a word. Do I need to restart? Oh! Wait.
It is
No,
a
I
word.
don't. I've done it. I just forgot to add the G. After some time and a wonderful hint from a wonderful intelligence roll, Cludd will happily pronounce the word threshold.
All right, and as you do this, you see that the letters and the door kind of sink into these wooden square spaces, and it vibrates a little bit. A series of locking mechanisms turn as you look around in here, and the doors open. What you see before you is a garden. There are some stone pillars surrounding this area. In the middle of this garden are 4 statues, and in the middle there is a podium with a sword laid onto it. One statue lies on the ground, broken in half. 2 statues, one black, one red, have swords drawn at each other. The last statue is looking at the scene. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 11 plus 1.
Okay. You see that even though these are statues, where the one that is laying on the ground broken in half, that one has some blood, actually, as well. Small amount.
Small amount of blood.
You see the statue that is looking at the scene also has a sword. And examining each of the statues, you see that this statue with this sword has blood on it as well.
Okay. If Cludd goes to stand at the podium, would they see anything interesting by
Looking at the
at
podium
thing?
closely, you see that there is inscription carved into it. Passing by, you wouldn't necessarily notice it. But upon further closer inspection, you see it reads, "Judgment must be made. Use the blade."
Judgment must be made. Okay. Uh. Cludd will pick up the blade and kind of walk in between the middle of the statues, kind of looking around each individual one. So the red and the black one are fighting, and then there is obviously the one that's broken and has a bit of blood, and then the one next to it, which has the sword that has some blood on it.
Yes, but it is not drawn. The sword is kind of like holstered.
Holstered. Can Cludd examine the broken statue for any more information?
Sure. Looking around, examining the statue closely. With a 12, you notice that the statue's eyes are looking at the statue that has the blood on the blade, the one who is just staring at the scene.
Ooh. In Cludd's mind, it's very difficult to decide because the two other ones, the black and red one, they're just fighting amongst themselves just now.
Mm-hmm.
Can Cludd move the swords in any way, or are they?
These are statues, so these swords are unmovable.
Right, okay.
Unless you wish to break the statue. But it seems as if they're kind of molded around the sword.
Hmm. With a lack of decent information, some would say, Cludd would kind of point the sword at the onlooker and just kind of poke it a little.
As you do this, it crumbles to the ground. And you see a door now appear on the other side, opening.
Cludd kind of puts the sword down by the crumbled statue and kind of says, "I'm sorry," before kind of walking through, or going to walk through the door.
All right. And as you walk through the door, you see another hallway. Walking down to the end, you see another door. This time, this door has another kind of plaque above it. And it says, "Power enough to smash ships and crush roofs. Yet it still must fear the sun. What is it?"
Enough power to crack ships and crack roofs. Ooh. Still must fear the sun. Well, there's lots of logical things that you kind of could think about. I mean, water kind of has enough power in good enough quantities to smash ships and crush roofs, and it can evaporate via the sun. What gets degraded by the sun?
Let me know if you want a hint.
Oh. Yes.
All right, give me a intelligence check.
Oh, come on. 8 plus 4.
All right, the only information I can give you is that you're on the right track, but you need a different form.
A different form of water? Or maybe not necessarily a different form of water. Well, waves would smash ships. Wouldn't necessarily crush roofs. Ice?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
All right, as Cludd says the word ice, the door opens and your vision fades to white and you are brought back into the room. You see that George is looking at a small screen in which there's a series of words just written across. And as you come to, I guess, present consciousness, he goes ahead and unplugs the little chip that was connected into the side of your head.
Most excellent. You passed all my tests. A very special unit indeed.
Special?
Well, of course.
In what way?
Ah, that I cannot tell you.
Oh, that's okay.
I have been looking for a good assistant. Although, it seems that many of the candidates have been incompetent. You are not. Would you like to assist me in my research?
I would love to be of help.
Most excellent. We shall begin another time. It seems that after your series of tests, a reset is in order. Not a reset of any large accord. Just a rest. A stasis, if you will.
Oh. Okay.
Don't necessarily want to overrun our new CLU. I want to make sure that you are running in tip-top shape. I will introduce you to my research next time.
That would be nice.
Come with me. I have a spot just for you.
Of course.
And you
I'll
see
be right
him kind of hobble over and go up the stairs.
Cludd will
And
follow.
as he kind of goes across the little platform over on the right, he leads you to a sort of chair, and it looks like it has various different wires and things sticking out of it. I can place. Looks similar to this one. It's like a red upholstered chair, and then there's just some wiring and things up on the by the head region.
What did you say you were going to do again, George?
Well, I'm going to be. Oh, this is not the right voice, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm going to be doing some research. Although the test showed that you are running at optimum speed. I want to make sure that we can perhaps lower this brain capacity. Well, just kidding. You don't really have a brain. I don't want the processor to run as fast as it can in order to do these tests. It could burn out and damage any sort of memory chips that are implanted. So, a 6-hour rest should be plenty.
Okay. Thank you.
You are
looking after
special,
me.
since you are the only CLU that seems to have any sort of autonomy.
Is that a good thing?
Of course. And since this is the case, I want to make sure that I treat you just as any other person would. Or should be treated. I would like for you to be my assistant, in which you will receive a salary.
You're very kind.
I can help teach you the world and follow in my footsteps.
I would love to follow in your footsteps, George.
We'll have fun, lots of fun too, don't you worry.
That would be very nice.
And at any point, if you would like to disagree with me, or not like to do something, just say so. You have a right to do whatever you so choose, even if you are my assistant. That does not always mean that you have to agree with me. And sometimes, that is the most important.
I think I understand.
Good. Until next time.
I will see you soon.
And that is where we are going to end today's one shot or one-on-one session.
Yeah.
All right, what did you think?
I fucking love George. Good puzzles as well.
I try to make it a little more interesting.
It was awesome.
I figured that if Cludd is going to be awakened for the first time, they would run some sort of tests. So I wanted to make sure that we were true to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thoughts on Cludd's current experience so far on day 1 of Cludd's journey.
Cludd is absolutely loving it.
All right.
It's like they got a gold star, basically.
Pretty much. I mean, you did roll quite well, and you did all the puzzles pretty well as well. So that's nice. Yeah.
Pretty proud of that.
Yay! Awesome. All right. Yeah. So that's where we're gonna end today's mini session. So thank you so much for participating, and
Thank you.
until next time.